At the end of a life, medical bills can turn into financial mountains.
Tonight, we meet an elderly widower who had to fight for thousands of dollars in refunds for billing mistakes that happened in the days before his wife passed away.
He called 2 News problem solver Pete Knutson for help investigating the charges.
We had a wonderful 50 years.
For more than half a century, she was the love of his life.
She was the best thing that ever happened to me.
And J.W. Robertson says every day he spent with Annetta, every minute was precious.
We were married 50 years, 6 months, and 1 day.
But in the twilight of their life together, J.W.'s heart was broken after his wife was diagnosed with vascular dementia.
It's a terrible disease.
And he had no choice but to put her into a nursing facility, Homestead Assisted Living.
They did give her good care. Well, we'll say that.
Eventually, J.W. says Annetta needed to be transferred to another facility for a few days of evaluation. It ended up being 42 days before she returned to Homestead. A few days later, Annetta's health took a terrible turn.
She got worse and complications ensued and we lost her.
Then another nightmare for J.W., a battle over Annetta's medical bills. After paying up front for her care, he says getting his money back for those 42 days she wasn't even at Homestead was next to impossible. He says the facility had earlier agreed to a $4,000 refund.
It seems to me that when you shake hands or you make an agreement, that it should be lived up to.
Then, as J.W. dug deeper into his wife's medical bills, he found they were charged more than $200 for medications that she was never given, since her doctor had taken her off those meds a week before she passed away. One of those charges appeared on the day Annetta died. J.W. says he called the office time after time and wrote this letter to Homestead's parent company, Midwest Health in Topeka, Kansas, and sent it by certified mail.
And we're still waiting for the check that they've been promising for 3 to 6 months.
We got in touch with management at Midwest Health and made sure they knew about J.W.'s problem. An executive there says there had been staff changes at their facility and promised to look into the situation. Finally, 10 months after Annetta passed away, J.W. received an apology and this check for more than $4,200, including money for that medication. For that, J.W. says he's grateful. And now that his wife of 50 years is no longer here, J.W. sits at home, trying to find peace of mind and peace in his heart, with his new best buddy by his side. Pete Knutson, 2 News works for you.
Pete, thanks. Now, the decision of moving a loved one into an assisted living center or nursing home can be an emotional and complicated one. We have information to help you make that decision. It's in the Problem Solver section of KJRH.com.